They have high hopes and a whole lot of motivation. The danger is virtual, but the excitement is real. Any night of the week, they're their league's heroes. And they live for the thrill of victory. It's Sunday Night Thunder. NARC No Limit is open for business. Welcome to Brandon, South Dakota for NARC's Sunday Night Thunder with the No Limit Sprint cars battling the Husets Speedway tonight. Formerly known as Badlands Motor Speedway, Husets is a 3/8 mile and was reopened in 2020 to become the powerhouse of sprint car racing that it's starting to become. Husets features some of the best sprint car races of the season, and it's no different here for No Limit. We're looking forward to this event. We've had no 410 sprint car races in National Auto Racing Club here at Husets, and tonight will be our first opportunity to put these cars out on the track and see what they can do. I'm looking forward to tonight, and we have got Christian McCartney down in the pits to talk a little bit about our Golf Dots Challenge and what he sees tonight.
That's right, Bruce. We roll in here to Husets for race 3 of our Golf Dot Challenge. And it's a toss-up right now for the Hardest Chargers Challenge for the most passed cars over these 3 races. We've got Ross Kaiser, followed by Dean Reynolds, followed by Trevor Royer, last week's Hard Charger, and Gavin Chatham. And you can see here, not a lot separating these drivers. Ross Kaiser with the most, with 17 cars passed total. Dean Reynolds, 14 cars passed total. Trevor Royer with 12, and Gavin Chatham with 12. So tonight, on the tight corners here at Husets, where it's going to be very difficult to make passes, we're going to look for these drivers and see if they can increase these totals and see who's going to pull away with that Hardest of Chargers Challenge. And for the other challenge, we have the Cleanest Driver Award, what we're dubbing the Mr. Clean Award. And so far, Tyler Schell, look at that, the only driver over these 2 races so far and coming into tonight with 0 incidents over those races. So far, he's been the cleanest of the clean. But Trevor Royer, our hard charger from last week, only 2 incidents at Weed Sport, and Mason Hannigan only 2 incidents at Port Royal. So this, again, a toss-up. Any little bit of contact, and Tyler Schell can fall back into the questions of those 2 drivers. So the Mr. Clean Award is going to be very interesting to see throughout the night, especially here on the tight 3/8 mile Husets Speedway. Back up to you, Bruce.
Yeah, these contingency awards for the Golf Dots Challenge are going to be interesting because while we're talking about those guys, there are other guys that are still in the running. If we look a little further back, I think Ross Kaiser, Gavin Chatham, Tanner Pettit, Kenny Hoffman, Ryan Avila, all within reach for the Cleanest Driver Award. All it's going to take is one of those guys in those top 3 to have a little bit of a problem, make a little bit of contact in the feature, or if they don't make the feature tonight for some reason, then they'll be ineligible for that award because they have to log all of the feature laps to be eligible. And if we look in that total positions gain column, there are some outsiders in there as well. We've got not just that top 3 that we were looking at, but Rick Main is within striking distance. Connor Dudek, while he had a really great first race at Port Royal, he lost 5 spots, and that's kind of what brought him down. So Connor has been hard charger more times than anybody this season, and I think this is a golden opportunity for Connor to show his cards and make it happen. Now, here's the thing about the Hard Charger Award that a lot of guys don't think about. In order to get the Hard Charger Award, you kind of have to start farther back in the field. So some of these guys, and I think about Connor's more than capable of starting on the front row. And if you start on the front row tonight, it is going to be really hard to be the hard charger. Well, the cars are lining up in the pit lane for qualifying tonight, and we're going to get ready to push our single car 2 laps of qualifying situation off. Something I did want to call out, Christian, I'm not sure if you noticed this, but there is a World of Outlaws Dirt Vision hauler down in the pits that I was not expecting to see tonight. We had gotten word that Dean Reynolds was going to miss tonight's race potentially, and he is absolutely here at the Speedway, and that he has huge points implications, not just for the Golf Dots Challenge, but Dean is your Division 2 points leader right now, and that means he has the chance to leave this race still in that Division 2 points lead with just a couple races left. No track record set tonight as our first car hits the Speedway. Pulling out now the number 99 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, the Full Throttle Motorsports, Chatham Motorsports, Full Throttle Motorsports Super Dirt Car Series entry. This is Gavin Chatham. Gavin Chatham in the 99 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Gavin takes the green there. First lap going to be a 10:68. Second lap for Gavin going to be 10:68 as well. So that's going to hold him at 10:68 there, provisionally on the pole. Next out in the number 518 from Dwaynesburg, New York, with 14 NARC wins, the Inferno Motorsports Catalytic Recovery EPI Weston Towing Triple X. This is Joseph Grandy. Joseph Grandy. Joseph, a No Limit founder. For lap number 1, going to be a 10:80. Not enough to top Gavin. Second lap for Joseph, not going to be any better at 10:91. Keeps him in second place. Next out onto the Speedway in the 7 from Hilton Head, South Carolina, in the Jeremy Childers Racing Gertie powered entry. This is Jeremy Childers. First lap for Jeremy going to be 11:19. That is considerably slower than our first two. Let's see what he can pull out for lap number 2. Lap number 2, a little squirrely on the exit there. Childers 11:19 is going to stand. His second lap almost identical at 11:20. Rolling out next in the number 79 from North Syracuse, New York. This is the Full Throttle Motorsports World of Outlaws Dirt Vision entry powered by Dean Reynolds. Dean Reynolds out next. Dean right up on the cushion there in 1 and 2. Driving the car hard down the backstretch. You can see it get sideways. First lap for Dean, a 10:85. Good enough for third at the moment. Dean driving that car very hard through the corners. Second lap for Dean, not going to be better there. That's going to be a 10:92 on lap 2 as 10:85 will hold. Next car out from Allentown, Pennsylvania, driving the number 1 Kenny Hoffman Racing Aces Up Sim Sport Bocus Build Sprints Fusion Settle Shop Maxim powered by Don Ott. This is Kenny Hoffman. Hoffman's first lap at 10:72, good enough to put him into second. Running a much different line than some of these other guys, cutting down for lap number 2. on the exit. Lap number 2 not going to be any better. A 10.86 for Kenny on lap number 2. Next car out from Cottage Grove, Oregon, a no-limit rookie in the Tanner Pettit Racing, Jimmy P. Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Jordan Casey, Ethan Johnson, Free Speed number 2. This is Kellen Sabo. Kellen's first lap, 10.69, almost enough to take Chatham off the top spot. See if he's got anything on lap number 2. Looks very sideways in 3 and 4. Second lap for Sabo, not going to be better. That 10.69 puts him in second place. Next out, a No Limit founder from Fremont, Ohio. Driving the Old Man Motorsports Victory Sims machine from Fremont, Ohio. This is Tyler Crump. Ooh, Tyler into the wall hard there on the entry of turn number 2. First lap for Crump going to be an 11.55. Good enough to spot him in 7th. Second lap for Crump not going to be any better. That 11.25 will hold. Next out, another No Limit founder from Fremont, Ohio in the number 6 Watson Motorsports GolfDots.com machine. This is Mike Watson. Watson's first lap an 11.18, good enough to put him in 6th. Second lap not going to be is an improvement, but not enough to move him up. That 10.98 will hold him in 6th. The next car out, a 6-time NARC winner driving the Kenny Hoffman Aces Up Sim Sport Dudek Sim Designs Bogus Built Sprints Frogger with a Howie. From Wilkesburg, Pennsylvania, this is Connor Dudek in the 7. Connor's first lap at 10.76, good enough for 4th. Looks really loose on the exit, a lot of wheel spin there. But an improvement, that 10.69 puts Connor Dudek in 2nd place. Next out from Belvedere, Texas. In the Christensen Racing number 16, this is Jeremy Christensen. Jeremy running right up on the cushion. You can see that slick already forming on the straightaways. That's something drivers are going to start to have trouble contesting with. First lap for Christensen, a 10.84, good enough for 6th. Second lap, Christensen runs the same line, improves 10.78, just a little bit quicker that lap. One of the few drivers to improve on lap number 2, puts him in 5th. Next out in the number 8 from Mountain Home, Idaho. In the Newton Racing Bad Boy Buggies Triple X with Morrison, this is James Newton. James Newton in the number 8. First lap for Newton, going to be a 10.9. Good enough for 8th. Ooh, a little squirrely on the exit of 4 there. James Newton's second lap, not going to be an improvement, 11.25 for lap 2. Next up, a No Limit founder from Bloomington, Indiana, driving the 25 Enterprises Victory Fuel Triple X Chevy. This is Steven Stewart in the 29. Stewart sporting some new colors this week. First lap for Stewart, a 10.95, enough to put him in 9th. Second lap for Stewart, a little bit sideways on the exit of 4 there. An improvement of 10.88 up to 8th for Steven Stewart. Next car out, driving the number 21 Tanner Pettit Racing Jimmy P. Mac Tools 1425 Photography Aces Up Sim Sport from Lincoln, Nebraska. This is Blake Carrick. Blake Carrick in the 21. Carrick's first lap of 10.73, good enough for 5th. Second lap going to be a 10.71, enough to bump him over Hoffman into that 4th position. But next out, from Coldwater, Ohio, in the Jonathan Paquette Motorsports Klosterman Engraving and Design M9 Performance JPR Maxim, this is Nick Klosterman. Nick's first lap about a lane off of the cushion. And you can see driving through that slick on the exit, a little bit sideways on the exit. Klosterman's first lap at 11.24. Good enough for 13th out of 14 contenders so far. Second lap, 11.13, good enough to push him to 12th. Next up, subbing in the number 28. Black Dog Motorsports Grid Lounge, Sweary Carry Designs, Maxim, powered by Stanton. From Sacramento, California, it's showtime, Justin Sherman. Justin, a little bit of wall contact there on his warm-up lap. He's going to push it for everything he can, and that might be just a bit too much, as I don't think either of these laps are going to count because of the wall contact. Let's see. No. Oh, yes, that second lap did count with a 10.90. That slots him into 11th place. So as a reminder, our timing and scoring system does invalidate laps with wall contact during qualifying. Next up in the number 7 from Pittsboro, Indiana, the Delta Sim Sports 25 Enterprises TWR Racing Shocks JR1 powered by Amoil. This is Mason Hannigan. Mason Hannigan. Hannigan's first lap. 10.91, good enough for 12th. Second lap at 10.85, an improvement, pushes him to 9th. The track's certainly changing. Be interesting to see if anybody has anything for the top spot. But rolling out next from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, in the Brent Mark Sim Sports Turn 2 Terribles podcast, Jeremy Sarfos Photography, McGrew Maxim. This is Christopher Lynn. Chris Lynn in the 32. Chris running a much different line than we've seen some of these other guys run. A bit of a slider line in 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4. Kind of right around the middle. First lap for Lynn, 11.27. 17th out of 17 attempted. Chris's second lap running that cut down on the exit. And Lynn will not improve on lap 2 and 11.28 on lap 2. Next out from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, in the number 57, Kamikaze Motorsports, JG Motorsports Turn 2 Terribles entry. This is Austin Griffey. Austin Griffey in the 57. Austin's first lap at 11.04, good enough for 14th. Ooh, a big hit of the wall there on the exit of 2. Probably enough to not get an improvement here. And indeed, the 11.04 stands, holding him in the 14th position. Next car out, from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, NARC No Limit founder, the Inferno Motorsports number 187. This is Rick Main. Rick Main. Main's first lap. It'll be a 10.89, enough for 12th position. And second lap for Main gonna be a 1095. No faster on lap 2 for Maine. Next car out, the number 73 from St. Louis, Missouri. The Scott Thomason Racing Rockin' Cage Yes and Jim's Midwest Barbecue. This is Larry Moody. Larry takes the green flag, kicks the car way sideways into turn 1 and way sideways into turn 3. I think that approach is going to work well, but let's see what he pulls off on lap 1. Lap 1 and 11:46, 20th out of 20 so far. Lap 2 does look better. Let's see if it holds. Lap 2 and 11:45 for Moody keeps him in 20th position. Next up from Millersburg, Pennsylvania, the number 1 all-time winner, 410 sprint car races for National Auto Racing Club, the Elbow Sim Sports Aces Up Sim Sports, More Than Tires paints by Tudacan, RPM powered by a Don Ott. This is the 85 of Tyler Schell. Tyler's first lap at 10:73. Good enough for 6th at the moment. Second lap for Tyler going to come in here at 10:73 is going to hold. Second lap was 10:74, almost all. Rolling out next, last week's last lap pass winner from Chico, California, in the number 24 Tanner Pettit Racing 1425 photography entry. This is Tanner Pettit. Tanner all the way up on the wall here in lap number 1. Quick time, 10:58 for Tanner. Somebody finally knocks Chatham off the top of the pole. And that 10:58 will hold as the current track record in pole center. Pettit to the pole. Next car out from Jefferson City, Missouri. The Scott Thomason Racing Aces Up Sim Sports Finish Line Racing Design Maxim number 27. This is Chad Griggs. The ultimate underdog, Chad Griggs. Lap 1, Chad right around the wall, running that same line that Pettit ran. Griggs' lap 10:78. Good enough for 8th, right behind Tyler Schell. Tyler Schell and Chad, good friends, probably working together in the pits. And second lap for Griggs, not going to be an improvement. That 10:78 holds him in 8th. Next car out from Roseburg, Oregon, in the Aero Sim Sports CD Sim Cinematography, Gage Stevens Design, Ashton Mueller Racing Build Setups, Triple X powered by Knott. This is Ashton Mueller. Ashton all the way up against the wall here in lap number 1. First lap at 10:74, good enough for 8th. Pushes Griggs back. Second lap for Mueller going to be a 10:79. No improvement for Mueller on lap number 2. Next car out from Owasso, Michigan, in the Royalty Motorsports Majestic Promotional Branding and Apparel SM Racing Royalty Racing Network DGHA Triple X, powered by a Kistler, the number 11 of Joseph Groom. Groom looks very loose. That car not comfortable under him at all, it looks like. His first lap going to be an 11:74, good enough for 25th out of 25 attempts at the moment. Second lap's going to be an improvement, 11:35, does push him up into 24th. Next car out from Lemoore, California, in the number 49 Tanner Pettit Racing Mac Tools 1425 photography, Blake Carrick Racing Triple X Don Ott. This is your current no limit point leader, Ryan Avila. Ryan takes the green flag all the way out against the wall for all of lap 1, and a 10:70 on lap 1, enough to put him in the top 5 in 5th here. Second lap for Ryan, going to be holding at that 10:70. Next out from San Jose, California, in the Ross Kaiser Racing Trackside Collective number 4. This is Ross Kaiser. Kaiser pounding that wall down up top here. Runs a little lower line in 3 and 4 than everybody else. And I think he's going to pay the price for that, as that 11:42 slots him into 25th. 26th. 11:35 for lap number 11:04 for lap number 2. Sorry. We'll slot Ross into 21st. Disappointing effort out of the 4 car here tonight. Next car out in the number 95 from Northwood, Iowa. With 3 NARC wins the Hagen Brothers Racing Hagen Farms Triple X powered by Ryder. This is Brent Hagen crossing the finish line for lap number 1. Lap number 1 for Hagen in 11:51 slots him in 28th out of 28 cars. And lap number 2 going to be an improvement with an 11:18, pushes him up to 23rd. Next car out, driving the number 22 from Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, subbing in the Team SSR School of Sim Racing Victory Fuel Personal Evolution Shaver. This is Alex Rzinski. Alec running the extreme bottom of the track in 1 and 2. Top of the track here in 3 and 4. First lap for Alex going to be 10:99, good enough for 20th for Rzinski. Lap number 2 for Alec going to be not an improvement in 11:11, holds him in 20th at the moment. Next car out, a No Limit founder from Reading, Pennsylvania, with 6-4-10 wins, 3rd all time in the Black Diamond Motorsports Ultimate Dirt TV, Tim's Dirt Track Simulations, 1-9 Designs, Mach 1 Don Ott. This is Trevor Royer's T-Rex. First lap for Royer going to not record. Second lap very important here for Royer. Second lap for Royer, a 10:86. Going to be good enough to slot him into 15th. 15th for Trevor Royer. Next car out in the 970 from Taylor Falls, Minnesota, the Delta Sim Sports 25 Enterprises TW Racing Shocks JR1 powered by Amoil. This is Miles Jansen. Miles' first lap in 11:10, good enough for 4th position. Miles' second lap in 11:17, going to slot him into 24th. And with 31 cars qualified for tonight's event, Tanner Pettit sets the National Auto Racing Club track record at a 10:58 here at Husets Speedway and takes the pole, the Turn 2 Terribles Quick Time Award for Husets Speedway here in No Limit. Christian, let's go to Christian down in the pits. Christian, you got anybody to talk to down there?
Yeah, I just walked up here up to the Watson crew. They're high-fiving after an excellent qualifying effort by Mike Watson, putting it into the top 20 here, beating out names like Alex Rzinski, Austin Griffey, Ross Kaiser. Mike, you got to be very happy about that qualifying run, seeing some of the names that you qualified.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm super excited. I pull in here every week, and it's tough for me to see a path to to even the top 24. There's 30 guys out here that kind of expect to be in the top 24 and be in that final, and there's not enough room. So to
Yeah, well, this will definitely set you up really well for your heats, and then hopefully into the feature here later tonight. Yeah, so good luck tonight, Mike, in your heat, and we'll catch up with you a little bit later tonight.
guys.
The search is over. The most comprehensive oval scoring solution is here. Featuring oval playoffs, adjust drivers per round, custom number of rounds, custom playoff points, provisionals, optional win and you're in, custom playoff displays, rookie championships, optional minimum participation, and load those results in seconds. Visit extremescoring.info today.
Qualifying was brought to you by Turn 2 Terribles. Check out the Turn 2 Terribles podcast live every Monday at 8 p.m. Eastern on Facebook, YouTube, or the next day on whichever podcast platform you prefer. And I think you'll find some familiar names as you check out the Turn 2 Terribles. With 1.5 times more electrolytes than the leading sports car drink, Victory Fuel is your winning source of hydration, all while giving you all your daily vitamins in just a 12-ounce can, sweetened with only 6 grams of natural sugar and no added food coloring. DrinkVictoryFuel.com is your place to get Victory Fuel shipped right to your door. Let's check out our grid for heat race number 1 here at Husets Speedway. Starting in row number 1, in the number 8, it's James Newton. The outside of row number 1, the 79 of Dean Reynolds. Inside of row number 2, it's the 33 of Ashton Miller. The outside of row number 2, it is the number 49 of your current points leader, Ryan Avila. Inside of row number 3, it is your quick qualifier from tonight and the fast qualifier for heat race number 1. It is Tanner Pettit's 24. Then the outside of row number 3, the number 20 of Alex Szerzynski. The inside of row number 4, the number 26 of Nick Klosterman. And the outside of row number 4, the number 32 of Chris Lynn. Dean Reynolds and James Newton lead him to the line here. 10 laps the distance. Short track sprint car racing is back to no limit, and the green is out. Newton gets out front early. Ashton Miller over that inside of the racetrack. Both Avila and Tanner Pettit fighting hard. Remember, top 4 cars transfer. Top fastest qualifier and the winner go to the dash. Newton able to hold that off on the top. That's Mueller now starting to poke a nose. Mueller's going to lead that lap. Mueller on the bottom, Eaton on the top. Dean Reynolds following Mueller around the top. Ryan Avila now cutting down on the bottom. Tanner Pettit trying to make something work down there too. Right now, Ryan Avila, the last dog sitting out. Avila not in a transfer. Now he's in a transfer position with what a move there. Ryan Avila all the way up to second now behind Ashton Mueller. Tanner Pettit now at the top of the track, but he's going to bang the boards a little bit. And Ryan Avila is now caught up to the tail tank of Ashton Mueller by running the bottom. Pettit having to drive about 4 times as hard to keep up with those guys on the bottom as Avila was. Now Avila back to the top of the speedway, being followed right by his teammate Pettit. Avila's got the run on Mueller. Mueller's going to lead that lap, just 3 laps to go. Pettit now down to the bottom right on Mueller's tail tank. Avila clearly out in front of Mueller with 2 laps remaining. Pettit now back to the top. Top is definitely the fast place to be. These 3 cars have broken out, but Alex Rzinski has moved into that transfer spot in front of Dean Reynolds. White flag's out, last lap here. Coming around to the checker, going to be Ryan Avila. Followed by Ashton Mueller, Tanner Pettit. Ryan Rzinski is going to hold off Dean Reynolds for the 4th transfer spot. That's going to be Mueller and Pettit to the dash. Avila misses the dash there. I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Avila and Pettit to the dash. Mueller misses the dash there. That means he's going to start in 9th position despite finishing 2nd in his heat race. Here is your lineup for School of Sim Racing Heat Race number 2. Starting on the pole in the number 187, Rick Main. The outside of row number 1, the number 7 of Mason Hannigan. Inside of row number 2, the 27 of Chad Griggs. Outside of row number 2, the 21 of Blake Carrick. Inside of row number 3, your quick qualifier for heat race number 2, gonna be the 99 of Gavin Chatham. Outside of row number 3, gonna be the 57 of Austin Griffey. Inside of row number 4, the 95 of Brent Hagan. And outside of row number 4, the 11 of Joseph Froome. Main and Hannigan on the front row. Chatham, your outsider looking in, your quick qualifier. He's got his work cut out for him. Chad Griggs will call out again, has not missed a dash all season long. Can he do it again tonight? Probably going to have to win this one to go to the dash. Hannigan and Main roll him through turns 3 and 4. Green flag is out. Right foot is down. Main out front early. Hannigan rolls to the bottom of the speedway. Griggs rolls to the bottom of the speedway. Now Hannigan and Griggs back up to the top. Chatham kind of rolling the bottom, still on the outside looking in. Hannigan's going to be under attack here from Griggs. Griggs cuts down to the bottom a little bit. Tries to make a move, can't make it happen. Hannigan starting to gain momentum on the outside. Griggs now back to the top in 3 and 4. Lined up Griggs. Hannigan, Griggs, Carrick in the top. Hannigan cuts down to the bottom as he completely clears Rick Main. Now he is sailing out. Griggs has got to get around Main. Carrick in 4th position. He's right on their tail tank. Gavin Chatham starting to fall back. Hannigan gets into the wall, allows everybody. Now it's a hornet's nest here for the top 4 positions. Throw a blanket over the top 4. Anybody could have any of those spots. Hannigan starts to pull away again. Now Griggs in the wall. Griggs drops all the way back to fourth. That's going to put Maine back in second. But Maine under attack hard from Blake Carrick. Carrick cuts down to the bottom of the speedway. Carrick on the bottom of the speedway, but no exit velocity there. Maine now cutting into the middle of the speedway. Carrick's going to completely clear Maine. Chad Griggs in fourth. He's got to hold on to make the feature. Griggs back to the top of the speedway. He's going to try to close him in, but Mason Hannigan now on a 1.6 second lead out front. Griggs now caught back up with Rick Maine. Carrick down on the bottom. He gets into the wall, and Gavin Chatham is suddenly in the game again, as those two are going to be in a transfer position. And Hannigan coming to the checkered 3 wide, all 3 of them, and it's going to be a contact. Holy cow. I think that's going to be Hannigan, Maine, Griggs, Chatham, your top 4 with Blake Carrick. We'll let race control kind of make that final call there. But that's what it looks like, and it is. They are calling Hannigan and Gavin Chatham your 2 transfers into the dash tonight. So Hannigan, Griggs, Chatham, and Maine all make the feature, but Hannigan and Chatham, so Gavin Chatham makes his way all the way back up to claim his dash spot. That's going to take Chad Griggs out of the dash for the first time all season long. What a heartbreak at the finish line. He had almost a chance to even win that thing tonight. Well, here's your grid for heat race number 3. SSR heat race number 3 at Husets Speedway on the pole. In the number 28, it's Justin Sherman. On the outside of row number 1 in the 90, it is Trevor Royer. Inside of row number 2 in the 16, it's Jeremy Christensen. Outside of row number 2 in the number 1, Kenny Hoffman. Inside of row number 3, I'm sorry. The number 7 of Connor Dudek, your quick qualifier for this heat race. And the outside of row number 3, going to be Ross Kaiser in number 4. Inside of row number 4, Jeremy Childers in the 7. And outside of row number 4, going to be Larry Moody's number 73. Very stacked field. Justin Sherman, a super sub tonight. Trevor Royer, a No Limit regular and last season's invitational winner. Kenny Hoffman, Connor Dudek, all capable of winning any night out there. Ross Kaiser has been a little bit up and down and had kind of a rough qualifying tonight that's put him a little further back, but I would not count him out of a heat race or a main event either. So I think right now everybody's got their work cut out for him. Dudek's probably looking for a transfer spot and hoping that will get him into the dash. Sherman and Royer drive it down to the green flag. Sherman right up top. Royer's going to follow him. Kenny Hoffman's going to run the top 2, but Ross Kaiser all the way up to 3rd, now 2nd position, as he's going to nose around Royer as they cross the finish line. Ross Kaiser gets a heck of a jump on the start. He's all the way not only in a transfer spot, but might have a chance at the win. 10 laps, a long time here around Husets. Sherman out to a lead, but not a very big lead, as Kaiser is cutting into it every lap. Coming around to the finish line that time, Sherman's going to hold it off. Royer's right on his tail tank. Kaiser's still loving the bottom, trying to make things work down there, but he does not have enough exit velocity to quite get around Sherman. It is a complete roadblock up front. Sherman's in the wall, maybe by a little contact off the front bumper of Royer, and Royer's broken. He starts to fall back, completely shakes things up. Now we've got Kaiser, Hoffman, Dudek, Christensen, Childers, Royer rolling down into the infield. Don't think we're going to get a caution out of this. He makes it clear. Kaiser now pulls off to a half a second. Hoffman starting to track him down, though. I have no idea what the dash order is going to be here at this point. At this point, it would be Kaiser and Dudek, I think. I think Kaiser and Dudek. The field is a little spread out. Connor Dudek just looking to transfer. Kaiser still kind of running that bottom. Hoffman banging off the boards up top. Hoffman not able to really close in on Kaiser that lap. Coming around for the white flag. Kaiser continues to roll on the bottom. Now Hoffman goes down to the bottom as Kaiser does a little bit of a diamond line. Hoffman cuts deep into the lead in 1 and 2, but coming around to the checkered flag. Heat race number 3, sponsored by SSR, going to be won by Ross Kaiser. Ross Kaiser wins heat race number 3, followed by Kenny Hoffman, Connor Dudek, Jeremy Christensen, and Jeremy Childers. Kaiser and Dudek going to be your dash transfers out of that event. Here we go with our grid for SSR Heat Race number 4. Starting on the pole in the number 6, it is Mike Watson. On the outside of row number 1 in the 29, it's Steven Stewart. On the inside of row number 2 in the 518, it's Joseph Grandy. On the outside of row number 2 in the 85, it's Tyler Shell. Inside of row number 3, your heat race number 4 quick qualifier, Keelan Sabo. And the outside of row number 3 going to be the 970 of Miles Jansen. Inside of row number 4 going to be the 49 of Tyler Crump. And the outside of row number 4 going to be the nobody, because Brandon is somehow in the scoring for this heat race. So my apologies for not looking far enough ahead and missing that. Brandon said he blew it up as soon as he got it off the trailer, but I know he drove in the truck with Christian, so he didn't actually bring a race car with him. 10 laps the distance, top 4 transfer to the feature, and the winner and fastest transferring qualifier make it to the dash. Steven Stewart and Mike Watson roll them down the backstretch. Watson mashes that loud pedal and gets out in front of everybody. Stewart gets caught a little bit in the slick, and now he is way under attack 4 wide at this point for position number 2. A little bit of wall banging. Oh, Mike Watson in the wall, and that's going to give Sabo the lead. Sabo now in the lead, but Tyler Shell coming hard on the bottom. Sabo takes the lead. He's kind of running the bottom. Shell now banging the boards up top. Followed by Steven Stewart, Joseph Grandy. Kind of 2x2. Miles Jansen right there with him. Anybody's battle at this point. Looking for that top 4 transfer spot. Jansen still got a shot at this. We are going to have a battle for the lead here, though. Tyler Shell starting to make some progress on the top against Sabo. He's right up on his tail tank. Both of them go down to the bottom. Shell tiptoes with the tulips out of 2. Into turn number 3, right up against the board. He's able to close a little bit on Sabo on the straightaway, but not as hard as he did the last time around. Shell grabs the gravity down in 2 this time. Now he's going to throw the slider in 3 and 4, all the way up to the cushion. Sabo cuts down underneath him, but now he's at a little bit of disadvantage. They're even at the line. Shell runs the same line now. He runs the same lap now. Let's see if he has the clear advantage coming around there. With 3 to go, Tyler Shell clearly in the lead, followed by Sabo, who closes right back to the tail tank. Sabo's got a chance here. Shell starts to pull out. Sabo gets right back up to him in 1 and 2, but loses ground in 3 and 4 in the front stretch. In that transfer position, Stewart and Jansen both fighting it off. But Shell out to the clear lead. Jansen's just got to hold on here. Coming around to the checkered flag, Tyler Shell will be your SSR Heat Race number 4 winner, followed by Keelan Sabo and Steven Stewart and Miles Jansen, your 4 transfers. Watson Crump follow along, finished. Grandy did not finish the event. Tyler Shell and Keelan Sabo are your transfers? Let's throw it back down to Christian. Let's see what we are hearing down in the pits.
Yeah, Bruce just caught up with Race Control and the promoter, and they are saying that Sleepy Garmin out of that heat will not be getting his show-up money for not starting that heat. So I just want to make sure that we're all well aware that he won't be getting anything out of that deal.
Looks like Brandon fell asleep on the job again. All right, as we get prepared here for our first of one Last Chance Showdown tonight, let's talk a little bit about School of Sim Racing. School of Sim Racing has been around since 2020, and it is iRacing's go-to place to learn and grow your skills in an open-minded and laid-back environment. Through paid services like their Insider program, giving drivers setups and tip videos for official races each week, and masterclass style training offerings which prepare drivers to earn their iRacing Pro license, or our community-centered learning opportunities that happen for free in our Discord community every day, drivers have found School of Sim Racing to be the most valuable resource on the service. Start your journey today at www.schoolofsimracing.net to become an insider and join the SSR Discord to become your best on track that you can be. School Sim Racing also operates the National Auto Racing Club, which is your go-to league in iRacing for dirt and asphalt oval. With thousands of league races under their belt, NARC has become the standard across dirt in the simulator, run by former and current drivers, crew members, and race officials. NARC's focuses on mutual respect, clean racing, and having a good time on track. Drivers enjoy clean and intense racing where they're able to drive hard and grow on track without the worry of pervasive voice chats or messages. Join NARC today at www.narcleague.net and start writing your pages in the record book. Our Last Chance Showdown on the front row, driving the number 79, it's Dean Reynolds. Row number 2, the number 21 of Blake Carrick. In the number 7, in the inside of row number 2, Jeremy Childers, and Mike Watson on the outside of row 2. The inside of row number 3 is going to be Nick Klosterman. Outside of row number 3 is going to be Austin Griffin. Inside of row number 4, Trevor Royer, and outside of row number 4, Tyler Crump. Inside of row number 5, Chris Lynn, and outside of him, Brent Hagan, Justin Sherman, and Joseph Grandy will round out row number 5. Row number 6 will be Larry Moody on the tail end of the field. 8 cars will transfer to your feature event here tonight, and we're going to run 12 laps to see which of those 8 cars it will be. Reynolds leads him to the green, just barely gets in front of Carrick before he gets to the start-finish line, but is able to make it work. Carrick cuts right underneath him. He's going to run the bottom in 3 and 4. And, almost gets in front of Dean Reynolds. The short slider in 1 and 2 will close out that position for the moment as Blake Carrick now pulls away with the lead in the Last Chance Showdown. But Dean Reynolds staying kind of right on his tail tank. Watson now up on the top of the speedway. He's holding on. We talked to him earlier. Sometimes he feels like just transferring to the main event is a win here. And in a field like this, that is absolutely the case. Griffey and Royer are going to make it 3 wide against Watson. A little bit of wheel contact. Royer gets out of the way. Griffey slides to the top. Watson now cuts down, tries to go to the middle of that. Can't make it work. Watson gets a little loose. Royer now running the bottom of the speedway. Put a battle up for Griffey. Royer now in the 3rd place as he slides to the top of the track. Royer now starting to pull away from them. Can Royer close in on Reynolds and Carrick? They've got about a 2.6 second lead on him right now with just 6 laps to go. Larry Moody already out. And Hagen pulling into the pits now. A little bit farther back in the pack here, we're going to see Tyler Crump, Childers. It's Chris Lynn behind him for the transfer spot. Oh, and a little bit of contact back there. I didn't see who that was. Looks like that's going to be that bad boy Buggy's entry, which is no luck. Dean Reynolds now under attack from Trevor Royer. Right on his tail tank. Royer makes the bottom move all the way up to the cushion. He's going to clear Dean Reynolds. Reynolds is going to fight back a little bit in turn 3 and 4, but leaves Royer enough room to get by. Now 1.9 seconds for Royer. So Royer closes about a half a second in the 6 laps that he had. Coming to the checkered flag, going to be Blake Carrick. Winning your last chance showdown, getting a little bit of lap traffic up there, followed by Royer, Reynolds, Griffey, Grandy, Watson, Klosterman, Childers, your transfers. Crumplin, Groom, Newton, Sherman, Hagen, Garmin, and Moody all not making the feature. That ends preliminary competition for tonight. And we're going to get ready to move to our School of Sim Racing Tech Tip this week, where we will learn about advanced braking techniques in the sprint car. So we'll go ahead and roll this tech tip. We'll come back to you and see if Christian has anybody down in the pits to talk to.
Welcome to Tech Tip, presented by the School of Sim Racing. In racing, you will often hear the phrase, drive the car with the throttle or drive the car with the brake. But what exactly does that mean, and how do you do it? Let's take a deep dive into advanced driving techniques with the Ring Sprint Car. Like many local tracks and racing series, iRacing uses a driver progression system that moves drivers from low horsepower cars such as 305 sprint cars to high horsepower cars like the 410 sprint car. This lets drivers slowly build their skills and adapt to the increase in speed and power as they progress and build experience. Driving a low horsepower car is all about maintaining momentum as much as possible. The car simply doesn't have the engine power to quickly speed up when a mistake is made. What this means is that drivers want to reduce how much time they are off the throttle as much as possible. In fact, for most of the tracks on the iRacing service, a 305 sprint car can be driven flat out in almost any track state. And when the track does get sufficiently slick or has very tight turns, like Lucas Oil, Lima Land, or Lincoln, drivers can navigate the turns by simply reducing their throttle input to about 80 to 90%, and enough speed is scrubbed off to allow the car to traverse the corners. When doing this, the reduction in RPMs is enough to slow the car. This is known as engine braking, and it can be very useful when it comes to maintain momentum. However, there are some drawbacks to this technique. The first and most obvious is that engine braking has very poor stopping power. This means it takes a greater distance to slow the car to the desired speed. The more speed that needs to be scrubbed entering the corner, the further back on the straightaway the driver needs to be when starting to reduce their throttle inputs, effectively shortening straightaways, reducing top speed, and reducing overall throttle time. So as speed differential between straight line and cornering increases, this technique produces ever more diminishing returns. Another drawback is how slowly the car loads on corner entry. When a sprint car enters a corner, the wing side panel catches the air and pushes the car down on the left rear tire. This helps the car stay planted in the turn and provides forward drive on corner exit. Sprint car suspensions are designed to control how much and how quickly the car wings over. When engine braking, wing over on entry happens much slower, as the car takes longer to plant itself into the track. This can be advantageous when learning car control, but is ultimately slow and can lead to bad habits when moving to higher horsepower cars. We recommend that as soon as you have developed car control in the 305 sprint car, you immediately jump to the 360. With more power, driving the car with the throttle and brake becomes more evident. In the 360 sprint car, applying the brakes does a few things. It drops the nose of the car. Dropping the nose changes the angle of attack of the nose wing and top wing, providing more downforce, and drag, helping the car slow down for the corner. The center of mass shifts forward, loading the front suspension and pinning the front tires to the track. This helps the car pivot. It slows the rotation of the tires to reduce overall speed and turn the car via the stagger of the wheels. Because of the shift in weight and angle of the wings, a quick stab of the brake can quickly activate wingover to load the car more quickly on corner entry. This means that the driver can drive the car deeper into the corner and better maximize straight line speed on the straightaways. How much brake is applied will dictate how quickly the car will load. This is only advantageous to a point, as a harsh transition during loading can upset the balance of the car, causing it to break loose. Rather than a quick stab of the brake to set the car, drivers should aim to practice riding the brake throughout the corner. This means learning to drive with both feet, applying throttle and brake simultaneously. By maintaining braking input while also maintaining throttle input, the car stays winged over and planted throughout the corner while also keeping RPMs up and reducing wheel spin on corner exit. Modulating the throttle and brake can be used to keep the car in the slide and maintaining the racing line as the car traverses over bumps. More brake or throttle will turn the car left, while less throttle or less brake will raise the nose and straighten out the car. This technique can be very useful when navigating traffic, allowing the driver to apply inputs to keep the car planted while also reducing speed behind slower cars. In racing, you will often hear the phrase, drive the car with the throttle or drive the car with the brake, and it means using all the tools at your disposal to get the car around the track as fast as possible. Practice driving with both feet, applying throttle and brake to steer the car through the corner. Focus on being smooth, because another thing often said in racing is, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. This has been Tech Tip, presented by the School of Sim Racing. Back to the dash. You're good.
All the cars are decided, but the top 8 positions are not. Now it is time for our National Auto Racing Club Dash. Our dash will be Gavin Chatham and Kellen Sabo on the front row, followed by Ryan Avila and Tyler Schell, Tanner Pettit and Connor Dudek in row number 3, and Mason Hannigan and Ross Kaiser in row number 4. Cars go out there and line up for their dash. This will set the top 8 spots and finish setting the order for your Victory Fuel No Limit feature here tonight. Lineup looks good. These guys will pace one more lap. It'll set up for 6 laps. While we were doing the tech tip, they did have some farming implements out there. They did do some work on the track, so you can see it looks considerably different at this point than it did. Put some water down. They tickled the bottom and the top a little bit. See what they get. Chatham gets out to that early lead. Ryan Avila now down to the bottom of the racetrack. 3-4 wide now for 3rd position. Shell comes out on top as he solidifies 3rd. Now kind of makes a run for 2nd. He's now clear of 2nd position. Now he's got an opportunity to try to track down Ryan Avila. Can he do it? We're back in the pack now. A lot of racing going on. Everybody kind of going down to the bottom. 3 laps to go. Tanner Pettit right on the tail tank of Tyler Schell. Makes a little slip up in 3 and 4 there and loses some ground. Everybody pretty strung out here. White flag is out. Ryan Avila one more time. Start on the pole. No limit here at Husets. Coming around to the checkered flag, it is going to be Ryan Avila, Tyler Schell, Tanner Pettit. So we got Ryan Avila, Tyler Schell, Tanner Pettit. Looks to me like it was Kellen Sabo after that. Then it's going to be Gavin Chatham. Then Hannigan, then Dudek, then Kaiser. And that will set the top 8 positions for tonight's feature event. As we get the lineup all set up and out to the drivers, get them all prepped to finish off tonight, let's see if we can go down to Christian and see if Christian's got anybody to talk to down in the pits.
Yeah, just while that dash was running, I came over here to talk to Austin Griffey. Austin, they did a little bit of track prep here, added a little bit of moisture back to this track. How does that change your plans for preparing for the feature tonight?
It doesn't really change much for me because I normally like to set myself up to help me later on in the future. But that early tactics there in the beginning stage of the race will be a little helpful here for me. It'll hopefully kind of spread the field out a little bit and give everyone room to see what they got.
Yeah, certainly the little bit of track prep they do might open up the track, open up a few more lanes. Yeah, definitely something to look for here later in the feature. Starting near the back, but an opportunity to maybe make up some positions and maybe put yourself in a good spot with this Golf Dots challenge.
Yeah, that's the plan here. Normally, my plan is to just not drunk myself, but a new track like this, I not really expecting a lot. Just trying to make some laps and gain some positions here.
Well, definitely a great strategy. Austin, good luck tonight in the feature, and hopefully you can bring it up to the front.
Thank you.
We'll give Christian a second, see if we can find somebody else down there. An interesting note while we wait on these lineups to be finalized. Joseph Groom doesn't make the feature tonight, and that's the first time he hasn't made the feature all season. And what makes that, I think, particularly interesting is Groom is sitting in third place in Division 3, which is a very, very tight points battle. Less than 10 points separate the top four. Well, a little more than 10 points separate the top four. Less than 10 points separate the top three. And Groom is going to lose a number of points tonight, I think, on that. But it's not over till it's over, because everybody can miss a race from here or there. You never know if you're going to have a bad night. Let's see if Christian's got anybody else down there. Christian, did you pick up anybody else to chat about?
Yes, I've run over here to Chad Griggs' pit. Chad, a little bit of bad luck tonight. First night that you haven't been able to race in that dash, but looking at it on the other side of the coin, opportunity here to drive up through the field and maybe put yourself in a good position here with the Golf Dots challenge.
Yeah, I tell you, I'm going to try to just hang in and finish the dang race. Really, I don't really like this track. I'm not comfortable here at all. I thought I may have had a chance to do something in the heat there late, but the car ended up getting broke when Maine and I got together. So I was really just kind of trying to hang on at that point, but we'll see what happens here. We'll start 10th and just try to stay out of trouble, keep our nose clean, and see where we can work our way up to.
Yeah, it definitely looks like the crew has worked hard to get this car into good shape here for the feature. It's looking clean and ready to go now. So good luck, and yeah, we'll watch for you to make up your way through the field.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Well, we are ready for 35 laps at Husets Speedway with NARC No Limit. Let's talk about our feature lineup. Starting in 24th position from Hilton Head, South Carolina, the number 007 of Jeremy Childers. In 23rd, the number 26 from Coldwater, Ohio, this is Nick Klosterman. 22nd, the number 6 from Bella Vista, Arizona, Bella Vista, Arkansas, it's Mike Watson. I think we'll fix that at some point in time this season. In 21st, the number 518 from Dwaynesburg, New York, it's Joseph Grandy. In 20th, the 57 from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, Austin Griffin. In 19th, the 79 from North Syracuse, New York, it's Dean Reynolds. In 18th, the number 90, the T-Rex himself from Reading, Pennsylvania, it's Trevor Royer. In 17th, the 21 from Lincoln, Nebraska, Blake Carrick. And in 16th, the 970 from Taylor Falls, Minnesota, it's Miles Jansen. In 15th, the number 16 from Owasso, Michigan, it's Jeremy Christensen. And starting in 14th, you just heard from him from Jefferson City, Missouri, the number 27 of Chad Griggs. In 13th, the number 20 from Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, it's Alex Rzinski. Starting 12th, the number 29 from Bloomington, Indiana, it's Steven Stewart. Starting 11th, the number 1 from Allentown, Pennsylvania, Kenny Hoffman. Starting 10th, the 187 from Uniontown, Pennsylvania, Rick Main. And starting 9th, the number 3 from Roseburg, Oregon, it's Ashton Mueller. Starting 8th, the number 4 from San Jose, California, your current No Limit points leader, Ross Kaiser. Starting 7th, the number 7 from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, Connor Dudek. Starting 6th, the number 7 from Pittsburgh, Indiana, Mason Hannigan. Starting 5th, the 99 from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, Gavin Chapman. Starting in 4th, the number 2 from Cottage Grove, Oregon, Kellen Sabo. And in 3rd, the number 24 from Chico, California, Tanner Pettit. Starting in 2nd, from Millersburg, Pennsylvania, it's the 85 of Tyler Schell. And starting on the pole, your current points leader from Lemoore, California, it is Ryan Avila. Husets Speedway, welcome to the main event. Before you are the 24 cars and stars of the Victory Fuel NARC No Limit Sprint Cars. They've done battle all night long for the opportunity to give you the best show that sprint car racing has to offer. 35 laps, 24 drivers, only one comes out on top. Avila and Schell, bring them. Let's light this candle. Avila out to the early lead. He's going to hug the bottom of the racetrack along with his teammate Tanner Pettit. Tyler Schell fully. They're not all the way around the berm, but they are definitely running the bottom at this point. Schell kind of running the top, followed by Ross Kaiser. Kaiser, with a really bad qualifying effort, has put himself all the way up in the top 5 to start this event. I'm sorry, that's not Ross Kaiser. That's Kellen Sabo. Totally misread that comment. Sabo now kind of battling Tyler Schell here. That's going to allow Hannigan to get around him. Schell starting to go backwards. And Avila starting to pull away even from his teammate Tanner Pettit. Sabo really putting it on Tyler Schell. Gavin Chatham back there as well. Sabo almost clear of Schell at this point. And that turn is going to clear him. Schell goes down to the bottom, pushes it a little bit too hard. Gets sideways. That's going to put Kellen Sabo clearly into the 4th position. Schell now battles back around the outside. Now Sabo on the Hannigan now starting to pull away from it all. He has pulled all the way up to Tanner Pettit's tail tank. Hannigan's going to make a run for Tanner Pettit here if he's not careful. Pettit now moves to the top of the track. Hannigan loses the ground to him. Without another zip code, it is Ryan Avila. Ryan almost a 1.5 seconds now ahead of the rest of them. Hannigan right there on, and we got a yellow flag. That's going to bunch the field back up. That looks like it's going to be Austin Griffey who loops her around on the backstretch. Let's see what caused this. Oh, Royer was in the wall. Griffey checks up, then gets a little bit of a loop by Dean Reynolds. So yellow flag out with 24 laps to go. That's going to kill the entire lead that Ryan Avila had. And now his teammate will start this right on his tail tank. Gives Tyler Schell a chance to maybe cool those tires down. He was pushing hard. Maybe starting to get that rubber hot as the track slicks off. Hannigan pushed all the way up to the 3rd position. Hannigan, who started in 6th, up three positions at this point. It's a really good move for him. Lights are out on the pace car. Double file restarts here, no limit, until we determine we can't get that done anymore. That's going to put the teammates side by side on the front row. Boy, isn't this a familiar picture we've seen this season. The wheel of the control car leads him down the backstretch. Pulls the car down. Into the throttle, kicks it sideways. We're green again. Hannigan not able to capitalize on that bottom line. Missed the bottom line a little faster. Oh, we've got a yellow flag again. I think that might have been Alex Szerzynski. Somebody was upside down there, and I'm not sure who that was, but colors make me feel like they might have been Chad Briggs. It definitely was Chad Briggs. Oh, we've got some damage. We've got cars upside down. That is going to end the night for some people. Christian, down in the pits, are you seeing anybody down there that interests you? We got a big backup on the speedway as they wait for the pace car. Looks like that might have taken. I mean, I'm seeing the Jansen, and Carrick, and Dean Reynolds, and Griggs, and Grandy all down in the pits, and they're only working on some of those cars. I don't know if anybody makes it back out after that one.
Yeah, that's right, Bruce. I'm seeing some of these teams just packing up the stuff now. They're done for the night. Griggs, Grandy, Reynolds. Some fast cars here got taken out in that melee, and yeah, some disappointed looking crew members here with how that whole deal unfolded.
Yeah, Reynolds looks like pulling back out, but that car looks like it's been ridden hard and put away wet a couple of times. Pace car's going to pull back in. Ryan Avila, the control car, again single file this time. Avila now pulls out to a quick and early lead. Hannigan gets way squirrely on the restart back there, and that's going to let Tyler Schell capitalize and get a nose underneath him, but is it enough to get around him? I'm not sure. Tyler Schell may start to look like he found something, maybe making a wing adjustment, maybe making a driving adjustment. Who knows? That's the best corner we've seen out of anybody all night. He's going to get by not only Hannigan there, but even had a chance to get around Tanner Pettit. Ryan Avila still kind of pulling out on himself out front. The lap cars out front here. Reynolds a little bit off the pace. Probably needs to pull that one in. Definitely impacts the race, the battle a little bit there. Hannigan's gotten back to Tanner Pettit. Gets a nose underneath him, but can't quite make it work. Looks like 4 of the Tanner Pettit racing machines all the way up in the top 10. That's Ross Kaiser back there I saw up in the wall. That's going to pull him back a little bit, but what a move forward for him. I'm starting to wonder if anybody makes it out of this with 0 incidents. The incident points for the Golf Dots Challenge could be completely up for grabs at this point. I'm not entirely sure what to call here. Pettit has again started to pull away from Mason Hannigan. Tyler Schell now worked to the bottom, trying to make a run on Mason, but can't make it work. He goes back to the top. Down at the bottom of 1 and 2, the top of 3 and 4 seems to be where everybody wants to go. Pettit runs a much different line than Ryan Avila, and a much different line than Tyler Schell. Even he's kind of running through the marbles there, like he's found grip in the middle of the racetrack. Lap traffic now in play. This is when it gets good. Avila gets by lap traffic. cleanly. He continues to get by left traffic cleanly. Hannigan makes some wall contact. He's off the pace further back. He's now fallen out of this battle entirely. Pettit is trapped in lap traffic. There is no moving around this. It is a 2x2 race up there. Shell is trying his hardest to get back to the tail tank of Pettit. He's there, but I'm not sure how anybody can pass him. Shell down to the bottom, slides all the way up to the top, grabs the grip. Shell's going to clear Pettit at the line, but Pettit's got to move now. They've cleared lap traffic, and they're cleared to race on their own for a moment. Avila, it seemed like, was going to get a huge lead on that, but he does not pull out quite as far as you might have thought. A 1.5 second advantage for Avila. Connor Dudek now up to 4th position. Connor starting far enough up, he might be out of the running for the hard charger. We'll have to see once the dust settles. 7 laps to go. Pettit now running the top. Shell running the bottom. He is absolutely tracking down the 49 of Ryan Avila. Shell bangs into the wall a little bit. Avila bangs into the wall a little bit. Lap traffic continues to be a little bit of a factor, but not a lot. We've now gone 20 laps, green flag. They've caught a significant portion of the field. Pettit starting to pull in Ryan Avila. Just 3 laps to go as they cross the line. Avila sticks to the top of the track in 1 and 2, grabs the gravity on the exit. Tanner Pettit is right here with him now. This is going to be a race to the finish. Keep an eye on this, guys. With 2 laps to go, Avila still stays out front. Pettit running a little different line now. Avila kind of mimicking that. Tyler Shell now under attack from Connor Dudek with the white flag out. Coming back to the front, Ryan Avila going to capitalize on this. All he's going to do is stay clean in 3 and 4. Coming to the line, Ryan Avila. Be a 3-time no-limit winner as he wins at Husets. Tyler Shell holds off Connor Dudek for 3rd position, with Pettit finishing 2nd. Avila, Pettit, Shell, Dudek, and Hannigan, your top 5. Hoffman, Sabo, Kaiser, Chatham, and Royer are going to be your top 10, and that could be good for Royer. I think he gained a number of positions. I believe he started on the 2nd page even. So your final finishing order here going to be Ryan Avila, Tanner Pettit, Tyler Shell. Your top 3, Connor Dudek, Mason Hannigan, Kenny Hoffman, Kellen Sabo, Ross Kaiser, Gavin Chatham, Trevor Royer. Your top 10. In 11th, Rick Main, Jeremy Christensen in 12th, Alex Rzinski in 13th, Austin Griffey in 14th, Nick Klosterman in 15th, Jeremy Childers in 16th, Mike Watson in 17th, Steven Stewart, Ashton Mueller, Dean Reynolds, Miles Jansen, Blake Carrick, Chad Griggs, and Joseph Grandy round out your top 24. Christian, do you have a winner down there to talk to? Let's hear it. Husets Speedway as Ryan Avila climbs out of the number 49 for his 3rd no-limit win of the season, holding his points lead just a little bit harder.
Yes, Bruce, I'm down here with Ryan. Congratulations, Ryan. Win number 3 on the season. We're getting used to coming down and talking to you here in Victory Lane. Walk us through those last few laps, getting through traffic, trying to stay ahead of the car owner behind you, and bring it home here for your 3rd win.
Yeah, it's a pretty sick racetrack. Pulled away in the beginning there and caught a little bit of lap traffic, and it's hard to see the fence in 1 and 2, so I was messing up pretty bad. Tagged the wall a couple of times and just had 5 laps to go, so just slowed down and hit my line every time and finish it off with a 1-2.
Well, an excellent run, Ryan. looking at your work tonight, definitely getting up there and getting a good starting spot on starting on pole in that dash, definitely certainly helped. And being able to pull away from the battles behind you, excellent run. Who would you like to thank? Team members, sponsors.
Yeah, I gotta thank Tanner, Blake, Kellen. We've been helping out Ashton this past couple weeks. We just have I feel like one of the better teams at this moment. We haven't finished. I haven't finished off the podium except last week, which is unfortunate. But I feel like we still have the podium streak going strong. Tanner Pettit Racing, Jimmy P Mac Tools, 1425 Photography, Aces Up, Sim Sports, CD Cinematography, Trackside Collective, Blake Carrick Racing, Ethan Johnson, and Jordan Casey for helping us in the late models. You guys for putting the broadcasts on. Everyone over at NARC, SSR. Yeah, pretty sick.
Well, excellent run, Ryan. Your first place winner here at Houston, and 3-time No Limit winner, Ryan Avila.
Well, thanks, Christian. That is going to do it tonight. I don't think we're going to be able to hear from anybody else on the podium, but what a race, 35 laps. We had a 25 lap run in that went green flag. Saw plenty of lap traffic, plenty of, top to bottom in and out racing, which is everything that you want to see here. I've been doing some preliminary looking, and I cannot commit to these, but I'm going to tell you that I think we're going to see some interesting stuff in at least the total positions gained column for guys in the Golf Dots Challenge, and Trevor Royer is going to be hard to beat there in that with his big gain tonight and kind of where he was sitting last night. So I think it's going to be close. We're going to have to see once the dust kind of settles. We do have to manually score the positions gained because of the way we line up the top 8. So we can't exactly just take right out of timing and scoring. But I know Trevor was up 8 tonight, and that is definitely the right number because he started outside of the top. He started outside of the top 8. So if you take Trevor's number and add it to what he had, that 8's going to put him at 20 positions gained. Ross Kaiser might have a shot at that, but Dean Reynolds fell backwards. He's probably not going to have it. Gavin Chatham started high enough up; it's going to be hard for him to get it. Rick Main, that's the one I didn't look at. Main lost positions, I think, as well. So I don't know, guys. I think it's going to be hard to beat Trevor Royer, but we'll see when the numbers come out on that. I'm not even going to guess on the incident points because I cannot see until we get the final scoring report what the incident reports are. So check out the National Auto Racing Club Facebook and social media, as well as the School Sim Racing Discord. Probably not later tonight, maybe later tonight, but early next week at the latest, we will have those results calculated in and out so that you guys can see them. Christian, any final thoughts from you tonight?
Just reiterating a lot of the things that you just said, Bruce. This is going to be a tight Golf Dots challenge. Can't wait to see what the results are going to hold here either later tonight or early next week. Definitely the incident points. Racing on such a small track, close quarters racing, that is anybody's game at this point. Tyler Schell had a good run up through there. Seemed to keep the nose pretty clean. So it'll be very interesting to see if he's able to come out on top of that. But overall, an excellent race here at Husets. A little bit of track rework seems to have paid off. Multiple groove racing all night. Getting into a little bit of lap traffic here with a nice long green flag run at the end. And ultimately, your points leader, Ryan Avila, adds to it. But Tyler Schell still nipping on his heels with another podium finish.
Yeah, Tyler is always Mr. Consistency. He is always just consistently up front and really good at keeping his nose clean, and that's probably going to pay off for him coming into this incident points challenge. The initial look is that he may not have had any incidents tonight. Race control, go back and look through that and double check. But if that's the case, then Tyler probably is going to walk away with that. And like I said, it's definitely a race in the positions gained game. So, well, we are going to take a couple of week break because 3 weeks in a row of no limit racing ending on Easter Sunday is a lot. But we appreciate that every one of you have been out here with us. We hope nothing more than to see you in the School Sim Racing Discord over the next week or two, and back with us on, I had the date in my head and then it completely slipped my mind, on the 4th of May. We will be in Charlotte, North Carolina at the big half mile in Charlotte, and on the 18th of May we'll end our coverage in Eldora for our championship weekend. On behalf of Christian McCarthy, Brandon Garman, Ted York, Josh Borowski up in the competition booth tonight, Ryan Wagenschutz as our media producer tonight, I am Bruce Klingen, and I will see you when the dust settles.